death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those who love to use their tongue incorrectly, they will eat its fruit.
What if just a few words spoken with intention could shift the path of your entire life? Your voice holds more power than you've ever been told, not just in influencing others, but in bending reality itself. Once you speak this 100 times, the universe will align in your favor. The power of words, a universe in the making. These words, attributed to Jacobo Grinberg, a visionary who walked the line between science and spirituality, carry a resonance that goes beyond mere theory. They touch something deep within us, something we all know but may not always understand: the power of words. Grinberg, a man who sought the intersection of the mystical and the scientific, spent much of his life in the exploration of perception, consciousness, and the hidden realms that shape our world. To him, words were more than tools for communication. They were sacred instruments, capable of altering the course of events, bending the universe to a deeper, more profound order. What was it that Grinberg understood about the spoken word that we are still just beginning to grasp? At first glance, it may seem like a strange claim, speaking something 100 times and having the universe respond. But if you think about it, this idea isn't entirely new. Throughout history, cultures have used repetition as a means of invoking change. In ancient rituals, mantras were repeated endlessly, each repetition believed to bring the practitioner closer to the divine or to invoke a shift in the energetic currents of the world. In Hinduism, the repetition of mantras like Om is thought to align the body, mind, and spirit with the universe. Similarly, in Buddhism, chants and prayers are used to connect with the universe's vibrations, creating a resonance that reflects back on the practitioner. In both these traditions and many others, repetition isn't seen as simply a mental exercise. It's a metaphysical tool for transformation. So, what is it about the number 100? Why 100 times? In the world of mysticism and spirituality, numbers hold significant meaning. The number 100 is symbolic of completeness, a full cycle, a return to the beginning, and a potential for new creation. Think of the way the number 100 marks a threshold in many aspects of life: a century in years, the completion of 100 tasks, the achievement of a personal milestone. It signifies not just completion, but a kind of turning point. Perhaps Grinberg recognized that the act of speaking something 100 times wasn't just about the act itself, but about reaching a point where the intention has been imbued deeply enough to transform reality. This brings us to an essential question: why do words hold so much power? In many spiritual traditions, words are seen as the creative force behind the material world. In the Bible, it is written, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This suggests that the very foundation of creation itself is built upon language, upon vibration, sound, and intention. The word, whether spoken aloud or silently repeated within the mind, is an energy, a vibration that resonates out into the world, aligning the forces around it to bring about change. This aligns with Grinberg's studies on perception. He spent years studying how different individuals perceive the world and how their experiences and beliefs shape their reality. One of his most profound realizations was that our perception isn't limited to what we see and hear. It's influenced by the energy we put out into the world. Just as we can shape our perception of the world, we can also shape the world itself by shifting the energy we emit. And this is where the power of words comes into play. Words are not just symbols or sounds, they are the vibrational frequency of our intentions. When we speak, we send out waves of energy into the universe. Just as a stone creates ripples in a pond, Our words ripple through the universe, affecting everything in its path. This is why, in many spiritual practices, the act of speaking with intention, whether in prayer, affirmation, or ritual, is considered a powerful means of invoking change. When we repeat a phrase or mantra, we are sending out a signal, one that aligns our thoughts and energy with the outcome we desire. But it's not just the repetition that creates the shift. It's the intention behind the words. Grinberg understood that to speak something 100 times isn't about blindly repeating words. It's about speaking them with clarity, with purpose, and with deep belief. The repetition serves to anchor the intention into the fabric of reality. It's like planting a seed in the fertile soil of the mind, allowing it to take root and grow. The power of words, especially when repeated with intention, is not just metaphysical. It has been scientifically proven to affect the brain. Studies in neuroscience show that repetition strengthens neural connections, making the ideas, beliefs, and emotions tied to those thoughts more deeply ingrained in our minds. In other words, the more we speak something, the more we internalize it. Over time, this repetition can change the way we think, feel, and experience the world around us. This is why affirmations, a form of spoken repetition, have become popular tools for self-improvement. They help to reprogram the subconscious mind, aligning it with positive beliefs and outcomes. Grinberg's claim that speaking a certain phrase 100 times would align the universe in your favor is not just poetic, it's practical. When we speak words of intention, we create a magnetic field around us. This field attracts like energy, and as we continue to speak these words with conviction, the energy we put out into the world begins to align with our desires. The universe doesn't just respond passively, it reacts to our energetic frequency, bringing us closer to what we ask for, often in ways we don't expect. This idea isn't limited to Grinberg's teachings alone. It has been echoed by countless spiritual leaders and philosophers. The great mystic Rumi once said, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." This speaks to the idea that we, as individuals, are not separate from the universe. We are deeply connected to it. The words we speak are not isolated expressions. They are the echoes of the universe itself, vibrating through us and out into the world. The universe doesn't stand apart from us. It responds to the energy we put out. In this sense, speaking with intention is an act of creation. It's not just about expressing a desire or wish. It's about aligning ourselves with the greater flow of the universe, tapping into the natural forces that govern all of existence. This is why certain spiritual practices encourage us to speak aloud what we wish to manifest. It's a way of bringing our desires into the physical realm, giving them form and substance. It's a way of claiming our power and our connection to the larger whole. Jacobo Grinberg's work teaches us that words are not merely sounds, but keys to unlocking the universe's hidden potential. When we speak with intention, with clarity, and with a deep sense of belief, we are activating a force greater than ourselves, aligning the universe with our desires and moving toward the fulfillment of our dreams. The transformative power of repetition and intent. When we speak, we are not merely making sounds or forming words. We are sending vibrations into the world that carry immense potential. The simple act of speaking a thought or a wish out loud has the power to shape the reality around us. This may seem like a bold claim, but it is rooted in the timeless understanding that the universe is vibrational in nature. Every thought, every word, every action sends out ripples that travel far beyond what we can see or touch. Repetition plays a crucial role in this process. When we repeat something, whether it's a phrase, a mantra, or an affirmation. We are not just repeating it for the sake of repetition. We are reinforcing a belief, solidifying an intention, and aligning ourselves with a greater force. Think of a stone dropped in a pond. At first, the ripple is small, but with each successive wave, the impact expands, touching every corner of the water's surface. This is similar to the way repetition works. It builds momentum and magnifies the original intention behind the words. In the same way that we can train our bodies through physical exercise, we can train our minds through verbal repetition. Each time we speak with intent, we strengthen the neural connections that align our thoughts with our desires. This is why affirmations are so powerful. They don't just serve as reminders, they create a shift in consciousness. They bring our internal world into alignment with our external reality. By repeating a phrase or an affirmation, we are slowly transforming our thoughts, beliefs, and energy to reflect the life we wish to create. The beauty of this process is that it's available to everyone. We don't need special powers or gifts to manifest change in our lives. What we need is awareness, focus, and the willingness to speak with purpose. Words, when spoken with intent, become vessels for transformation. This is why ancient traditions placed such importance on the spoken word. The power of mantras, prayers, and chants lies not only in their repetition, but in the deep, focused intent behind them. The words, repeated over time, carry us beyond the limitations of the mind and into a realm where anything is possible. It's important to note that repetition does not mean mindless parroting. It's not about simply saying words over and over without any understanding or emotion. The key to unlocking the full potential of repetition lies in the intention behind the words. When you speak with belief, when you speak with your heart and soul aligned with your words, you are creating a potent force. The universe doesn't respond to empty words, it responds to the energy behind them. That energy is formed through intention, and it is this energy that propels your words into the world with the power to bring change. It's often said that our thoughts create our reality, but it's important to understand that thoughts alone are not enough. The thoughts we think, when expressed verbally, take on a new level of potency. They move from the silent realm of the mind into the active realm of sound and vibration. Once spoken, they begin to take shape in the world. When we speak, we make our desires known to the universe, and the universe in turn begins to respond. The process of speaking with intent can be likened to planting seeds in a garden. Each word you speak is a seed that, when nurtured through repetition, grows into a tangible result. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening. You may not see any immediate change, but like a seed in the ground, your words are working beneath the surface, preparing to sprout and blossom when the time is right. Just as a garden needs patience, your intentions need time to take root and grow. The more you speak with purpose, the stronger the foundation becomes for your desired outcome to materialize. In some ways, the energy you put behind your words is akin to a magnetic force. Words spoken with intent create an energetic field that begins to attract like energy. This magnetic force pulls opportunities, people, and circumstances into your life that align with the frequency you've set through your words. In a sense, you are becoming a magnet for your desires, drawing in what is needed to fulfill your vision. But this magnetism doesn't happen passively. It requires conscious effort. Just as a magnet must have a strong charge to attract objects, your words must carry a strong charge of intent to draw in the right circumstances. This is why speaking with conviction and belief is so important. The universe doesn't respond to half-hearted words. It responds to words that are charged with emotion and purpose. When you speak with deep conviction, you are infusing your words with the power to create change. The universe aligns with your energy, helping to bring about what you've asked for. There is also a profound connection between words and emotions. Our emotions are the fuel that powers the vibration of our words. When you speak with emotion, you are not just using words, you are transmitting energy. It's the energy behind the words that makes them so powerful. Think about how your emotions shift when you speak words of gratitude, love, or hope. Your entire being resonates with those words, and as a result, your energy shifts. This shift in energy can ripple out and influence the world around you, bringing opportunities and changes in ways that you may not have expected. Moreover, the frequency of your words can influence your subconscious mind, which governs so much of your actions and beliefs. By repeating positive, empowering phrases, you begin to reprogram your mind. This reprogramming, over time, can shift your perception of reality. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to act in alignment with your desires, and the world begins to respond to that new energy. The subconscious mind, which is always at work behind the scenes, doesn't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply responds to the energy you give it. By speaking words of intention and repeating them with belief, you are teaching your subconscious mind to align with your deepest desires. The process of speaking with intent and repetition is not just a mental exercise, it's a spiritual one. It's an act of co-creating with the universe, aligning yourself with the infinite possibilities that exist within and around you. When you speak with the understanding that your words carry power, you open up the door to a new level of creation. You begin to recognize that you are not separate from the universe, you are a part of it. The universe responds to your energy, and when you speak with intention, you are tapping into that energy, drawing it to you and transforming your life in the process. The subtle forces that shape reality through intent. There's an ancient understanding that our words are not just simple sounds, they are vibrations that have the ability to shape our reality. When you speak with intent, you are calling upon subtle forces that exist beyond what we can perceive with our senses. These forces, invisible to the eye but deeply felt, are the energies that govern everything in existence, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. The universe itself operates through these subtle energies, and when we speak with purpose, we are participating in the great dance of creation. The mind is a powerful tool, and it's through our thoughts and words that we begin to direct the flow of energy around us. But what happens when we start to align our thoughts, words, and actions with the natural flow of the universe? The answer is simple. We begin to experience synchronicity. Synchronicity is the phenomenon where events align in a way that seems purposeful, as though the universe is responding to us directly. These moments may appear to be pure coincidence, but they are anything but. They are the universe's way of showing us that we are on the right path, that our words and intentions are being heard. The key to unlocking this flow is to understand that everything is connected. The universe doesn't operate in isolation. Every word you speak sends ripples through the fabric of existence, and just as you are connected to the universe, you are also connected to the people around you. Your words, spoken with intent, have the power to influence not only your own life, but the lives of others as well. When you speak with conviction, you are planting seeds of possibility that can grow and spread far beyond your own sphere of influence. In many spiritual traditions, it is taught that we are co-creators with the universe. This means that we have the ability to shape our reality through our thoughts, words, and actions. The power of our words is central to this process. The act of speaking with intention is like casting a net into the vast ocean of possibility. The universe will respond by bringing to you the opportunities, experiences, and people that align with the energy you are putting out. But what happens when we don't speak with intention? What happens when we speak thoughtlessly, when our words are not in alignment with our true desires? In these moments, we are essentially allowing the current of life to carry us wherever it will, without any conscious direction. It's like being adrift on a boat with no rudder, going wherever the winds take us, without a clear sense of purpose or intention. This is not to say that life doesn't have its own natural flow, but when we don't consciously direct our energy, we risk allowing external circumstances to dictate our lives rather than taking charge of our own destiny. In order to shift this, we must become aware of the power of our words and use them consciously. Every time we speak, we have an opportunity to create something new. But this doesn't mean we should speak blindly or recklessly. It's important to pause and reflect before speaking, to ensure that our words are in alignment with our intentions. This practice of conscious speech allows us to harness the power of the universe to bring about the life we desire. At the heart of this process is the understanding that our words carry energy, and this energy can either attract or repel. When we speak with fear, doubt, or negativity, we are sending out vibrations that align with those emotions. And just as our words have the power to attract what we desire, they also have the power to attract what we don't want. This is why it is so important to be mindful of the energy we put out through our words. The universe responds to the energy behind our words, not just the words themselves. If you speak with love, gratitude, and positivity, the energy behind your words will attract more of the same. The more you speak with intention, the more you align yourself with the natural flow of the universe. And as you do this, you will begin to notice that opportunities and synchronicities start to appear in your life. It may start with small signs, a chance meeting, a sudden idea, or an unexpected opportunity, but over time, you will begin to see the bigger picture unfolding before you. This is the universe aligning with your intentions, confirming that your words have power. One of the most profound ways to harness the power of your words is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a vibration that aligns you with the flow of abundance and positivity in the universe. When you speak words of gratitude, you are acknowledging the abundance that already exists in your life, and this recognition sends out a signal to the universe that you are open to receiving even more. It's like telling the universe, "I am ready for more of this good energy." The more you express gratitude through your words, the more you create space for the universe to bring you more of what you truly desire. This practice of conscious speaking is not just about getting what you want. It's about aligning with the energy of the universe, being in harmony with the flow of life. When we speak with intention, we are not forcing the universe to comply with our wishes. Rather, we are allowing ourselves to be in tune with the greater forces at work. We are participating in the natural rhythm of existence, and as a result, life flows more easily and effortlessly. But this doesn't mean that everything will always go according to plan. Life, by its very nature, is unpredictable. There will be times when things don't go as expected, when challenges arise, or when the universe seems to be working against us. However, even in these moments, we have the power to choose our words and our response. By speaking with intention, we can shift our perspective and align ourselves with a more positive, constructive energy. We may not always be able to control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond through our words and actions. The silent power of thought and unspoken words. When we speak, we tend to focus on the words themselves, on what we say out loud, but there is another force at play, one that operates silently beneath the surface. It's the power of thought, the energy behind the words that we don't always express. Often, our unspoken thoughts have a more profound impact on the reality we experience than the words we speak. This silent power is an invisible yet potent force that shapes our lives in ways we may not even realize. Think of the times when you've been in a conversation, yet your mind was elsewhere, dwelling on thoughts or emotions that had nothing to do with what was being said. Despite the conversation appearing normal on the surface, there was an underlying energy beneath the words. This is the subtle power of thought at work. Even if you don't speak those thoughts out loud, they are being communicated through the energy you radiate. It's as if the universe is responding to the deeper vibrations behind your words, and that energy determines the flow of events around you. There's an old saying that goes, "You are what you think," and this couldn't be more accurate when it comes to shaping your reality. Our thoughts are like seeds that we plant in the fertile ground of the universe. Even when you don't express them verbally, your thoughts continue to take root and grow. If you dwell on thoughts of fear, doubt, and scarcity, those seeds will manifest as negative experiences in your life. On the other hand, when you focus your mind on love, abundance, and possibility, you are planting seeds that will blossom into positive outcomes. The challenge is learning how to harness this silent power, how to recognize that the thoughts we hold in our minds are just as important as the words we speak. Many of us have learned to master the art of speaking positively or expressing gratitude, but we often forget to pay attention to the quieter realms of our inner world. Our silent thoughts are always shaping the energy around us, even if we're not consciously aware of it. This is where the concept of mindfulness comes into play. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware of what is happening in the moment, without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to notice the thoughts that come and go in your mind. You learn to recognize when your thoughts are aligned with what you want and when they are pulling you away from your desires. Instead of letting your thoughts run wild and unchecked, you can consciously guide them in the direction you want them to go. The beauty of mindfulness is that it gives you the ability to detach from the negative thoughts that arise and not let them influence your reality. By being aware of your thoughts, you can begin to let go of the ones that don't serve you, creating space for the thoughts that will help you align with the life you truly desire. In this way, the energy behind your unspoken words, the thoughts that exist in the silence of your mind, becomes a powerful tool for manifesting your dreams. This power of silent energy is also linked to the way we perceive the world. How we think about our experiences, situations, and the people around us shapes how we interact with them. If we carry thoughts of love, compassion, and understanding, we begin to see the world in a different light. We are able to connect with others on a deeper level and attract positive experiences into our lives. Conversely, if we are consumed by negative thoughts, we will attract situations and people that mirror those thoughts. Consider the story of the wise man who was once asked, "What is the most important thing in life?" He replied, "It is not what you say, but what you think." He explained that your thoughts are the foundation upon which your life is built. Just as a house cannot stand without a solid foundation, your life cannot thrive without a foundation of positive, aligned thoughts. What you think will always manifest in your life, whether you speak it or not. But it's not just about positive thinking for the sake of attracting good things. There's a deeper level of understanding that goes beyond surface-level positivity. When you begin to understand the connection between your thoughts and your reality, you realize that it's not just about forcing yourself to think happy thoughts. It's about aligning your thoughts with your true essence, your higher self, the part of you that is connected to the universe and its infinite wisdom. This deeper alignment occurs when you stop trying to control your thoughts and instead allow them to flow naturally, in harmony with your soul's purpose. When your thoughts are in alignment with who you truly are, the universe responds accordingly. It's as if the universe recognizes that you are no longer fighting against it, but working in tandem with it. This is when the real magic happens. When your thoughts, words, and actions all come together in perfect harmony, creating a life that reflects your deepest desires. One of the most powerful ways to harness the silent power of thought is through visualization. Visualization is the practice of imagining your desired outcome in vivid detail as if it has already come to pass. When you visualize, you are essentially programming your mind to see what you want to experience. This practice not only aligns your thoughts with your desires, but it also begins to shape the energy around you. The universe will start to respond to this new energetic frequency, bringing you the people, opportunities, and circumstances that match your vision. In addition to visualization, another powerful tool for harnessing the silent power of thought is affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself, affirming the truth of your desired reality. These statements are a way of shifting your thoughts and beliefs about yourself and your life. As you repeat them consistently, they begin to reshape your inner world, aligning your thoughts with the life you want to create. Affirmations are like seeds that, when nurtured with care, will grow into powerful manifestations. The key to working with silent energy is to realize that it is not separate from you. It is an integral part of who you are. Your thoughts, your intentions, your inner world, they are all part of the greater cosmic web. By mastering your inner world, you begin to master your external reality as well. You become more attuned to the subtle energies that are constantly flowing around you, and you learn to direct those energies with intention. The practice of tuning into your thoughts and allowing them to work for you rather than against you is one of the most powerful ways to align yourself with the universe's natural flow. When you understand the silent power that exists within your thoughts, you unlock the ability to create a life that is not only aligned with your desires, but also filled with love, abundance, and peace. The language of the universe and the hidden forces behind our actions. When we think about communication, we often imagine it as a two-way exchange of words, gestures, or actions. But what if communication extended beyond these obvious forms, connecting us to something far greater? The universe, in its vastness, speaks to us in a language that transcends conventional communication, one that reaches into the very core of our being. This language is not always spoken, yet it is felt, understood, and responded to by every living thing. The question is, are we truly listening? From the patterns in nature to the synchronicities that guide our paths, the universe communicates with us constantly. These messages, subtle and quiet, are often overlooked or dismissed because we are too focused on the noise and distractions of everyday life. But if we slow down, listen more intently, and observe more closely, we begin to hear this universal language, one that speaks directly to our hearts and minds. It is in the rustling of the trees, the movements of the stars, and the chance encounters we have with others. These are all forms of communication that the universe uses to guide us. This language is not one that can be fully understood by the logical mind alone. It requires an openness to receive what is being offered beyond our five senses. It speaks to us through energy, symbols, emotions, and intuition. We all possess an inner knowing, a kind of deep wisdom that often whispers to us in moments of stillness. This quiet voice is the language of the universe, and it operates through a different kind of frequency, one that aligns with the deeper forces of existence. By learning to tune into this frequency, we align ourselves with the greater flow of life and begin to understand the hidden forces that shape our actions and outcomes. The beauty of this universal language is that it does not depend on our ability to fully comprehend it in a linear, logical sense. Instead, it asks us to trust that there is a deeper intelligence at work, guiding us toward our highest potential. Just as a child might learn to speak before fully understanding the grammar or structure of language, we too are learning to speak the language of the universe. We don't need to understand all of its intricacies right away. What matters is that we start paying attention, that we begin to respond to the quiet nudges and signs that appear in our lives. One of the most important aspects of this hidden language is its ability to guide us toward alignment with our true purpose. When we listen closely, we begin to notice that the universe is constantly offering us clues, opportunities that feel right, people who appear at just the right time, experiences that feel meant to be. These are all expressions of the universe's response to our inner alignment. It is as if the universe is a great mirror, reflecting back to us the energy we emit, whether it be positive or negative. But understanding this language requires us to look beyond the surface level of things. It asks us to go deeper, to feel the underlying energy in every situation. When you encounter a person who seems to have crossed your path, for no apparent reason, you may feel an inexplicable connection. This is the universe speaking to you. Perhaps this person is meant to offer you wisdom, or maybe they are a reflection of something you are meant to learn about yourself. The language of the universe communicates through these connections, guiding us to the lessons we need to learn at any given moment. Similarly, when we are faced with challenges or setbacks, it is easy to become discouraged or frustrated. Yet these obstacles are often part of the universe's way of teaching us important lessons. They may be pushing us to grow, to evolve, or to align with a different path that better serves our highest good. Every setback is a signal, a wordless message from the universe, asking us to stop, reflect, and realign our intentions. These challenges, though difficult, are not obstacles to be avoided, but messages to be understood. The more we listen to this language, the more we begin to understand its messages. Over time, we cultivate an intuitive awareness that allows us to navigate life with greater ease and grace. This awareness is what allows us to perceive the hidden forces at play in our lives, forces that guide us toward our true desires and ultimate fulfillment. It is through this connection with the universe's language that we can find clarity in times of confusion, peace in moments of uncertainty, and confidence in the face of challenges. This connection is not a passive experience, it requires action. As we listen and understand, we must also respond. The universe does not just speak, it invites us to participate. We are not mere observers, but active co-creators of our reality. Our actions, how we choose to respond to the signs, the people, and the opportunities that come our way, play a crucial role in how the universe's messages manifest in our lives. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, speaks to us in ways that often transcend the spoken word. But to truly hear, we must be willing to step out of the noise and embrace the quiet. This means quieting our minds, letting go of distractions, and being open to receiving the unseen messages that are always present. In this stillness, we come into alignment with the forces that shape our lives, and when we align ourselves with the greater rhythm of the universe, we become more than passive recipients. We become active participants in the unfolding of our own stories. When we learn to speak the language of the universe, we discover a profound truth. The universe is not working against us, but always in our favor. Even in times of hardship or confusion, the universe is offering us the lessons and experiences we need to grow. It is an intelligent force, one that is deeply attuned to our needs and desires, and when we listen carefully, we find that everything we need is already being offered to us. But this requires a shift in perspective. It requires us to move beyond the fear, doubt, and uncertainty that often cloud our judgment. We must trust in the invisible forces that are always at work, guiding us, protecting us, and supporting us. The universe is not a random, chaotic force. It is a harmonious, interconnected web of energy that responds to our intentions, thoughts, and actions. By aligning with this web, we can live in harmony with the flow of life. The more we tune into this language, the more we begin to notice how our words, thoughts, and actions align with the universe's energy. We no longer feel as though we are pushing against the current, struggling to make things happen. Instead, we begin to flow with the current, trusting that everything we need will come to us at the perfect time, in the perfect way. This is the beauty of speaking the language of the universe. The more we listen, the more we begin to see how everything is connected, how every moment is a divine expression of something greater. The power of your intentions and the unseen forces behind your actions. Have you ever noticed how sometimes, without even trying, things seem to unfold perfectly? You might be at the right place at the right time, or a person you needed to meet appears out of nowhere. It's as if the universe is conspiring in your favor. But how? Why does it feel like things flow effortlessly, and at other times, you're pushing against a wall? The key lies not in the events themselves, but in the unseen forces that shape your intentions and your energy. Intentions are powerful. They are the blueprint of every action, the first seed that creates the conditions for everything that follows. Yet too often, we overlook the immense power behind them. We believe that our external circumstances determine our outcomes. If we work hard enough, if we meet the right people, if we follow the rules of success, we will achieve what we desire. But there's a deeper truth that many miss. The energy you put into your intentions directly influences how the universe responds. Imagine a pebble dropped into a calm pond. The initial splash is small, but soon ripples begin to form, expanding outward in all directions. Similarly, your intentions create ripples in the universe. They are like energetic signals sent out into the vast expanse, seeking alignment with the forces around you. This is the fundamental principle behind the law of attraction. Like attracts like. When you hold a positive, open, and intentional mindset, the universe begins to mirror that energy, bringing opportunities, people, and situations that align with your intentions. But here's the catch. These energetic forces are not limited to conscious thoughts alone. The deeper energies within us, those that reside beneath our conscious awareness, are just as influential in shaping our lives. If you constantly harbor feelings of fear, doubt, or unworthiness, your actions, even when positive on the surface, will be colored by these underlying beliefs. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds not just to your conscious thoughts, but to the energy you're emitting from within. The question then is not simply, what do you want? But, what energy are you sending out into the world? At the core of your being, there is an energetic signature, an aura of thoughts, feelings, and desires that reflects who you are on the deepest level. This aura, whether you are conscious of it or not, is constantly broadcasting into the universe. When you act with pure, aligned intentions, when your internal world mirrors your external goals, the universe can match that frequency. This is when doors seem to open effortlessly, when life feels in flow, and when things happen with divine timing. It's not coincidence. It's the invisible, energetic exchange between your soul's purpose and the universe's response. To fully understand this process, we must look at how thoughts, emotions, and actions interconnect. Thoughts are like seeds planted in fertile soil, but it is the emotions that water and nourish them. If you think about a goal without feeling excitement, passion, or belief, The thought is weak and lacks the energy to manifest into reality. But when your emotions align with your intentions, when your heart is in harmony with your desires, the energy becomes potent. Your intentions carry a vibrational force that ripples out into the universe, seeking alignment with like frequencies. It's easy to forget how powerful emotions are. In a world driven by logic and reasoning, we often overlook the invisible forces of feeling and energy. Yet emotions are the language of the soul. They speak louder than words, louder than thoughts, and they connect us to the greater universal forces. When we feel joy, love, excitement, or even gratitude, we emit a frequency that attracts similar energies. This is why when we focus on what we're grateful for, we often find more to be grateful for. The universe is responding to our energy, bringing more of the same. However, it's important to note that our intentions and energy are not limited to what we consciously aim for. The universe understands that we are multifaceted beings with layers of desires, hopes, fears, and experiences. It doesn't judge these layers, it simply responds to the energy we emit. This means that if there are unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, or unconscious fears beneath the surface, the universe might bring us experiences that highlight these areas. This isn't punishment. It's simply the universe's way of helping us release what no longer serves us. The more we understand this dynamic, the more we can consciously choose to send out positive, intentional energy that aligns with our desires. Now, you might be wondering how to harness this power. How do we actively begin sending out the right energy to align with the life we truly desire? It starts with awareness. When you are aware of the energy you're emitting, you begin to notice how it affects the world around you. If you find yourself feeling negative emotions or doubt, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Reconnect with your intentions. Ask yourself, am I aligning with the energy of abundance and possibility, or am I inadvertently focusing on scarcity and fear? This is not about ignoring negative emotions or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it's about recognizing that the universe does not respond to perfection, it responds to authenticity. When we face challenges, doubts, or fears, we don't need to suppress them. Instead, we can acknowledge them, process them, and release them. By doing this, we restore alignment and send a clearer, more focused signal to the universe. Another powerful tool for harnessing the energy of intention is visualization. When you clearly picture yourself living the life you desire, feel what it would be like to have your dreams come true. Imagine the sensations, the emotions, the experiences. The more vividly you can feel it, the more powerful your intention becomes. When you practice visualization, you're not just dreaming, you're actively aligning your energy with your desires. And just like a radio tuned to a specific station, the universe begins to respond, bringing you closer to the life you envision. But be aware that there will be times when things don't unfold the way you expect. The universe does not operate on human timelines. It has its own rhythm, one that aligns with the larger cosmic forces at work. When things don't happen on your terms, trust that the universe is either guiding you towards something better or helping you grow through patience, resilience, and trust. Remember, every moment is part of the greater plan. Your personal alignment with the universe is a dance, and sometimes the universe moves to a different beat than you expect. Every thought, feeling, and action you put forth is a thread in the fabric of your reality. These threads connect you to everything around you. The universe is always listening, always responding, always aligning with your energy. The more aware you become of this dynamic, the more you can consciously shape the reality you experience. Embracing the flow and trusting the process. You might find yourself wondering, Why doesn't everything align the way I want it to, even when I feel aligned? The answer lies in understanding that the universe doesn't always give us what we think we want. It gives us what we need for our growth, evolution, and alignment with our highest good. This process, while sometimes challenging, is ultimately leading us toward a more profound understanding of ourselves and our place in the grand design. It's easy to become attached to specific outcomes, but this attachment can limit the flow of the universe. When you hold on too tightly to a particular vision or expectation, you create resistance. The universe is constantly moving, expanding, and shifting. It is not static, and neither are you. The flow of life is fluid, dynamic, and ever-changing, and sometimes the best way to receive what you need is to let go of what you think you want. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means surrendering to the wisdom of the universe and allowing it to unfold in its own time. When you release control and trust the process, you create space for opportunities to arise in ways you couldn't have imagined. This surrender is not a passive act. It's an active choice to trust that everything, even the challenges you face, is part of your growth. It's an invitation to flow with the rhythm of life rather than fighting against it. Trust is at the core of this surrender. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if it's not immediately clear. Trust that the path unfolding before you is leading you to your highest potential, even when the journey feels uncertain. Just as a river follows its course, twisting and turning around obstacles, your path may not always be a straight line, but it will always be leading you toward the right destination. This trust is strengthened by faith. Faith in the unseen forces that guide you, faith in yourself, and faith in the process of life itself. There is a deep knowing that when you are aligned with the universe will support you. It's not always about having every detail of your life figured out. It's about trusting that the next step will appear when it's time. You don't need to have the entire roadmap in front of you. Just take the next step and trust that the rest will unfold as needed. Think of this like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the soil, you don't constantly dig it up to check if it's growing. You trust that, given the right conditions, the seed will sprout, grow roots, and eventually bloom into something beautiful. Similarly, when you set your intentions and align your energy, trust that they are being nurtured, even if you can't see the immediate results. The universe is working behind the scenes, aligning people, opportunities, and circumstances to bring your desires into reality. However, it's important to remember that timing is crucial. The universe operates on its own schedule, which may not match your own. What feels like a delay may actually be an opportunity for you to refine your intentions or prepare for what's to come. Sometimes, when things don't unfold the way you want them to, it's because the universe is waiting for you to be ready. The obstacles or setbacks you face can be blessings in disguise, pushing you to grow in ways you may not have expected. In this process, patience becomes your ally. It's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. But remember, growth takes time. Whether you're planting a garden, building a career, or nurturing a relationship, things grow at their own pace. The same is true for your dreams. Trust that in time, the seeds you've planted will bear fruit. Patience also allows you to practice presence. When you focus on the present moment, rather than obsessing over the future or worrying about the past, you align yourself with the flow of life. You stop forcing things to happen and start allowing them to unfold naturally. The present moment is where all the magic happens. It is the only moment where the universe can truly work with you, and it is where the seeds of your intentions are being nurtured. The more you practice this trust and patience, the more you begin to see the synchronicities in your life. You start to notice the little signs, the small moments of alignment that show you that you're on the right path. You meet the right person at the right time, you find the right opportunity when you least expect it, and things fall into place in ways that feel effortless. These moments are not accidents. They are the universe responding to your energy, confirming that you are in the flow. At times, life will challenge you to expand your understanding of what's possible. You might encounter obstacles or difficulties that make you question your faith in the process. But every challenge is an invitation to grow and evolve. It's in those moments of struggle that you have the greatest potential for transformation. The universe is not out to punish you, it is simply presenting you with the experiences you need to evolve. Trust that even in the darkest moments, the universe is guiding you towards something greater. The more you embrace this flow, the more you become a conscious co-creator of your reality. You stop seeing yourself as a passive participant in life's drama, and instead step into the role of an active creator. You are no longer a victim of circumstances, but a powerful force capable of shaping your reality through your intentions, actions, and beliefs. Remember that the universe is always in motion, and so are you. Life will ebb and flow, just like the tides of the ocean. There will be times when things seem uncertain or when you feel lost, but trust that the current of life is always moving you in the right direction. By letting go of the need to control every outcome, you align with the flow of the universe, creating space for the magic and miracles that are waiting for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.